inducement, which is a lead point that day. So going to the daily time frame, you can see that here the market created what? So looking at the daily time frame, you can see that the market created this transactional liquidity in this range. So in this buy to sell range, you can see that the market created this transactional liquidity, this inducement right here. And you are going to be looking at the previous range, looking for what? Efficiency or inducement. So you can clearly see that in this previous range, we have efficient price action. So as we have efficient price action, we know that once we see efficient price action and we see a direct pullback, so we are going to be looking at the 50% of the range that you might even see some sellers stepping in. So we can see that here the market has reached for the 50% of the range, meaning that we might even see some sellers stepping in right here, going to the downside. So right now we have what? We have this as our target if you're going to be taking these cells from here going to the downside. So meaning in the H1 time frame and in the H4 time frame, we are looking for a setup. So going to your H4 time frame, looking for a setup that's going to actually give us some sell opportunities, just going to be here. That's going to be here at this inducement that are going to be looking for some cells. Then here we can see that there is this substructure that was created. So it's even clear at the H4 time frame, but we can even go to the H1 time frame. So you can see that we have this inducement right here that was created. So you can see that we have this inducement, then we have this transactional liquidity right here. So this is MSU setup. So you're going to be looking for your cells right here going to the downside. So meaning in the 15 minutes time frame, 1 hour time frame, and the 5 minutes time frame, you're going to be clearly looking for a setup. I know sometimes it's a bit difficult for you to understand that how do we combine our time frames and how do we look at our time frames. So it's just based on the mindset that once we see a key level being reached, then we go to our internal structure, which is, for example, looking at the H1 time frame, your internal structure. So looking at the H4, let's just look at the H4 time frame. So looking at the H4 time frame, your internal structure is going to be your H4 time frame. Your internal structure is definitely going to be your H1, your M15, and your M5, meaning that in all of these time frames, you are only looking for sales going to the downside if you are looking for staking trades. So there's a difference between staking and taking ping pong trades. So looking at the higher time frame, like the H1 time frame and the H4 time frame, and basing your trades on those time frames, you are just a staker. You're staking your trades, meaning that if you see a setup in the 5 minutes time frame, you're going to be entering sells until the market reaches for this low, or you can take even this range and you can even connect it like this. So you're going to say that at the premium you're going to be taking your sales, then here at the discount you're going to be taking your buys. So right here now you're going to be looking for your sales until the market reaches for the 50%. So after the 50%, you don't even take another setup until the market reaches for the target when you're staking. Also, you can even start taking your sales until the market reaches for the slow. So it would depend on how you want to view the market, on how you want to capitalize on the opportunities that are being provided. So you can clearly see that in here in the H1 time frame, you can see that we have an MSU setup. MSU setup right here, meaning that definitely we are going to be looking for the sales. So definitely we are going to be looking for the sales, and we can see that here we have this efficiency. So we see the market reaching for this efficiency, and you can see that here in the main structure, it didn't give us even a setup for us to even consider this efficiency right here, because for you to consider efficiency, the market should be the previous range or the current day you'll be looking at should be efficient, or there should be an inducement at this range. So there should be an inducement or efficiency. So as you can see in the main structure that was being provided, there was no previous range that was being provided. The previous range that was actually created was this one. So this was a new sell to buy range. This was the new buy to sell to buy range in the H1 time frame. But looking at this substructure, you can see that here it was more like an MSU setup or something. So MSU type 2, then you could have capitalize on these opportunities for you to take this buy. So once we saw that, we saw the market pushing to the upside with great momentum, and you realize that most of the algo traders, they're only looking for the efficiency at the 50% of the range. But from our side, there are some areas that we are going to be looking at the efficiency as at this area too. So at this open of this range right here, that's where you saw this efficiency stepping in and giving this market the momentum to start pushing to the upside. And you see that the market is reached for sorry for that. So you can see that the market has reached for this inducement, meaning that you are going to be looking for the sales here at the M15 time frame and the M5 time frame. So right now, as we said, that you are looking for sales at the what? At the H1 time frame or at the M15 time frame, meaning that you're going to be taking your sales from here, going to the downside. So going to your 15 minutes time frame. So we had a session yesterday. I was talking about this sales right here. So what I said was, we see that here we have this inducement, and here we have this area of interest, which is a lead point, which means that the area that's going to be above is going to be your POI. So I said that there are going to be some sell opportunities from here going to the downside, and definitely once the market reaches for this level, you're going to be looking for some buys. And you can clearly see that here the market actually gave us more confluences. So the reason why we focus more on the primary analysis and also with the secondary analysis is just because it's going to bring more confluences. So as you can see here in the 50 minutes time frame, the market touched the efficiency, then it started pushing to the upside. But with precision, the area where the market started giving this buy momentum was this inducement. So at this inducement, that's where we see the market starting to give us some buy momentum. And after